is a city girl, married a guy 9.5 years ago who was a dairy farmer, but he's in a nursing home already and she's by herself in the boonies. Never wrote a fan letter before.
Dr. John Pol, a well-known veterinarian and television personality, devoted his entire life to assisting animals and winning the hearts of people all over the world. However, in addition to his generosity and expertise, Dr. Pol has made a significant fortune through his work in the television industry and in his clinic. What he left behind was the thing that truly moved his family, despite the fact that his work brought him a great deal of success. Not only did his family feel grateful, but they also experienced a profound emotional response when the specifics of his legacy were disclosed. The question is, what was it that Dr. Pol left behind that prompted such a strong reaction? We invite you to join us as we uncover the incredible legacy that Dr. Pol has left behind. Dr. Pol's life consisted of a lot of laborious work. This is a story about Dr. John Pol's determination and the importance of family values. His childhood was spent on a small farm in the Netherlands, where he was born and raised. He was responsible for the care of animals and assisted with family chores. His aspiration to become a veterinarian was shaped by him through these experiences. He did not have a lot of things with him when he moved to the United States. However, with his wife Diane by his side, he embarked on a journey to construct a life from the ground up. They established Pol Veterinary Services in the rural area of Michigan in the year 1981. The clinic was initially quite modest and was run out of the proprietor's residence. During the time that Dr. Pol was treating animals, Diane was in charge of the office work. Dr. Pol frequently traveled long distances to assist local farmers. The fact that he did more than just treat animals caused his reputation to grow. In his interactions with others, he was kind. He never failed to show up for work, even when the conditions were difficult or the weather was unfavorable, which earned him the trust of the farmers. The success of the clinic did not occur immediately. It took a lot of hard work and sacrifice over the course of many years to earn the community's trust. It was not Dr. Pol's primary objective to amass a large fortune. His primary concern was ensuring that animals received the necessary medical attention. Even though he was becoming more popular, he never made an effort to live a lavish lifestyle. His straightforward way of life was a reflection of his core beliefs. Keep watching to find out what happens when this peaceful life suddenly becomes famous for no apparent reason. When the first episode of The Incredible Dr. Pol aired on Nat Geo Wild in 2011, the clinic underwent a transformation. Due to the fact that it depicted the ups and downs of life as a country vet, the show gained popularity very quickly. The way in which Dr. Pol handled even the most difficult situations with humor and patience was something that people admired. He became famous and wealthy as a result of it, but his life did not change significantly. As an alternative to spending the money on himself, he put it back into his clinic and the community he served. Throughout his entire career, it has been abundantly clear that Dr. Pol places a strong emphasis on his family. Through their 3 children, Charles, Kathy, and Diane Jr., he and Diane instilled in them an appreciation for hard work and a sense of humility. Charles, in particular, became an essential component of Dr. Pol's legacy as a result of his work as the show's executive producer. Over the course of their collaborative efforts to tell the story of the family to a wider audience, the bond between the father and son grew stronger. Nevertheless, not everything has been simple. In the year 2019, the Pol family was dealt a devastating blow when their son Adam passed away by an unexpected means. Although the family went through a difficult time when Adam passed away, it also brought them closer together and served as a reminder of the things that are truly important in life, such as their love for one another and their dedication to assisting others. The manner in which Dr. Pol has decided to invest his wealth for the future of his family will come as a complete surprise to you. In spite of the difficulties, Dr. Pol's dedication to his work and his affection for animals remained unchanged. Despite the fact that the show is doing well, he continues to maintain his presence for his customers. His rise to fame has not caused him to forget the principles that he was raised with. He has consistently stated that the things that bring him the most happiness are assisting animals and being of service to his community. It is remarkable that Dr. Pol went from working on a small farm in the Netherlands to becoming a television star all over the world. On the other hand, what makes it even more remarkable is the fact that he has used his success to help others. Dr. Pol has left an indelible mark on everyone he has come in contact with, whether it be through his work, his family, or his community. Keep an eye on things to see how this legacy will continue to have an impact on the future of his family. When the incredible Dr. Pol became became a hit on Nat Geo Wild, the Pol family's life changed in ways that they never expected. This was the beginning of the Pol family's legacy. The humble beginnings of a veterinary practice in a rural area of Michigan eventually evolved into a multinational commercial enterprise. The program provided viewers with an in-depth look at Dr. Pol's hands-on approach to veterinary care, with a particular emphasis on the difficulties and pleasures associated with working with animals in agricultural communities. Because of his unwavering commitment and straightforward personality, Dr. Pol was able to connect with audiences all over the world. In spite of the fact that fame presented them with numerous opportunities, the Pol family did not allow it to get to their heads. They instead concentrated on maintaining their grounding and making use of their platform to educate people about the significance of providing proper care for animals. Dr. Pol viewed the show as a means of bringing attention to rural veterinary practices, which are frequently disregarded. It was not about being on television that he was concerned with. Sharing his love for animals and his dedication to hard work was the purpose of this. The events that followed show how highly the Pol family places importance on the things that really matter. Charles, the son of Dr. Pol, would not have been able to create the show by himself. When Charles returned home from his studies at the university, he recognized an opportunity to bring attention to the remarkable work that his father had done. He proposed the concept of a reality show with the belief that individuals would feel a connection to the story of their family and the work ethic that they possessed. Indeed, he was correct. Not only did Charles contribute significantly to the success of the series behind the scenes, but he also played a significant role in the success of the series as a cast member. Dr. Pol, on the other hand, took precautions to ensure that the show did not alter his way of life. As an alternative to spending the money on himself, he decided to put it into his clinic in order to enhance the facilities and make certain that his staff could provide even better medical care. The decision was made by the Pol family to use their fame and financial gains to contribute to a cause that is beneficial. But there are some bumps in the road in the narrative. You should keep watching to see some of the challenges that they encountered. Together with fame came difficulties. The methods that Dr. Pol uses have been called into question by a few critics in the veterinary field, who have accused him of being too traditional in his practices. Because of these criticisms, he was involved in a number of legal battles, including allegations that he was not adhering to contemporary veterinary standards. In spite of the unsuccessful attempts, Dr. Pol maintained his resolve and defended the methods that he had employed with great success for many years. He argued that his experience and results spoke for themselves, and he continued to have the support of his patients and viewers who were loyal to him all throughout his career. It says a lot about Dr. Pol's character that he is able to persevere in the face of criticism and maintain his concentration on his objectives. The negativity did not slow him down or take away from the joy that he found in his work. He did not let it influence him. Instead, he made use of the attention to raise awareness about the significance of providing rural communities with veterinary care that is both affordable and easily accessible. Keep watching to find out how the Pol family dealt with challenging situations and turned them into opportunities. In addition to the difficulties they encountered in their professional lives, the Pols also experienced personal losses that put their resilience to the test. It was an overwhelming experience for the family to go through the heartbreak that they experienced when they lost their grandson, Adam, to a tragic event. However, this brought the family closer together as a unit. As they leaned on one another, they discovered solace in the memories they had in common and in their resolve to carry on living their lives with a sense of purpose. As a result of Adam's passing, they were reminded to cherish each day and to continue to support one another, regardless of the circumstances. Diane, Dr. Pol's wife, has been by his side through everything that has happened. Diane is responsible for managing the administrative aspects of the practice, while Dr. Pol is responsible for the care of the animals. In order to enable her husband and the rest of the team to concentrate on what they do best, she makes certain that the business operates without any hiccups. When it comes to dealing with the highs and lows that come with living in the public eye, the family has found that Diane's consistent presence has been a source of strength for them. You won't believe how much of an inspiration this family continues to be to so many people. The way in which Dr. Pol uses his success to assist other people is one of the most motivational aspects of his character. Over the course of his life, he has made contributions to charitable organizations in the community, promoted educational initiatives, and inspired young people to think about pursuing careers in veterinary medicine. According to him, success is not only about the things that you accomplish, but also about the way in which you use those accomplishments to make a positive impact on the lives of other people. Additionally, Charles has followed in his father's footsteps by utilizing the platform provided by the show to disseminate positive messages. As a unit, the Pol family has demonstrated that fame and fortune are not solely about achieving one's own personal wealth. In addition to this, they can be instruments for doing good in the world. In addition to being a story about a successful television show or veterinary practice, the Pol family's story is much more than that. Even as the world around them undergoes change, it is important for them to remain true to their values. Their journey serves as a reminder that a legacy that endures far beyond fame can be created through the combination of hard work, humility, and love for one's family. Continue watching to find out what it is about this family's story that makes it so unforgettable, a bond within the family that is strengthened by difficulties. Although Dr. Pol's story is about his rise to fame and his achievements in the field, at its core, it is about his family. Throughout every difficulty, the Pol family has maintained their unity and relied on one another to help them deal with the unexpected turns that life has in store for them. It was during this time that they were forced to make one of the most challenging choices of their lives, making preparations for a future without Dr. Pol, that this bond became even stronger. As Dr. Pol continues his work, an increasing number of inquiries concerning his legacy have been receiving attention. The contributions that he has made to the field of veterinary medicine and to rural communities cannot be denied. However, his family must also face the fact that they will have to continue on without him at some point in the future. In this case, it is not simply a matter of passing down a business. The preservation of a lifetime of values, dedication, and a work ethic that has inspired millions of people is the focus of this endeavor. It is possible that the actions of the family will surprise you. Have a watchful eye. Among the initial actions taken was the choice to include Charles in the operations of the family business. Not only did Charles play a significant role in the revival of the legendary Dr. Pol, but he has also emerged as a pivotal figure in the process of ensuring that the family's legacy will live on. In spite of the fact that Charles does not work in the field of veterinary medicine, he is an integral part of the management of the media aspect of their success. His involvement guarantees that the tales, teachings, and principles that Dr. Pol's practice embodies will continue to be passed down to subsequent generations. The legacy, however, is not solely regarding Charles. Furthermore, Dr. Pol and Diane have been actively involved in mentoring younger veterinarians by inviting them to their clinic in order to acquire practical skills that are becoming increasingly uncommon in contemporary veterinary practices. Not only are these veterinarians trained in medicine, but they are also trained in the same compassionate and practical approach that made Dr. Pol famous in the first place. Through the mentoring program, they are able to give back to the community while simultaneously planting seeds for the future. You are going to be moved by what they are teaching the succeeding generation. Diane Pol, who acts as both the family's glue and the guiding hand, is at the center of these efforts. She is the person who gives the family direction. During the time that Dr. Pol is concentrating on his patients and the clinic, Diane is watching over the family and making sure that everything is running smoothly in the business side of things. The work that she does behind the scenes is frequently overlooked by viewers of the show. However, it is her unassuming strength that is responsible for keeping everything in place. In light of the fact that the family is getting ready for life after the cameras stop rolling, Diane's role has significantly increased in significance. The continuation of the straightforward customs that serve as a foundation for the Pol family is one of the ways in which they maintain their strong bond. Although they have achieved a great deal of success, they have not lost touch with their origins. They frequently spend time together as a family in the same rural community where everything started. Not only has this dedication to maintaining their modesty earned them the admiration of fans who place a high value on authenticity, but it has also helped them maintain their close relationship. However, uncomfortable conversations are unavoidable, even when there are strong ties within the family. The family has had an open conversation about what will take place in the event that Dr. Pol makes the decision to retire, or if unanticipated circumstances require a change. This conversation, despite the fact that it is emotional, is essential. All throughout his life, Dr. Pol has been a firm believer in confronting challenges head-on, and this circumstance is no exception. For the purpose of ensuring that the clinic, the show, and the family's values will continue to exist in the future, they have collaborated to devise strategies. During this process, there have been times that have been filled with feelings. Due to the fact that Dr. Pol is deeply connected to his patients and is extremely passionate about his work, the concept of taking a step back is extremely challenging for him. It has been necessary for Diane, Charles, and the rest of the family to remind him that the influence of his work will continue to be felt well beyond the years that that he is physically active. The lessons that Paul has imparted and the memories that he has crafted are, without a doubt, sufficient to motivate people for many generations to come. What, however, takes place when he finally takes a step back? Continue watching if you intend to do so. Additionally, the Pol family is subject to an external pressure, not only from critics, but also from fans who have their own ideas about what the future ought to be like. The show's popularity has brought about an increase in the amount of scrutiny that have been directed towards it. As is to be expected, a significant number of viewers would propose that Charles take complete control of the clinic. Alternatively, some viewers might be of the opinion that the clinic ought to recruit additional veterinarians in order to carry on Dr. Pol's legacy. In spite of the fact that there is less information available to the general public, it seems that the Pols are resolute in their intention to make these decisions as a family, adhering to what they believe to be the right course of action, rather than giving in to the majority opinion. They have maintained their attention on the animals and the people who are dependent on them throughout the entire process. This is something that his family appears to be planning to carry on, whether it be through Charles's work in the media, the veterinarians they mentor, or the memories shared by their community. Dr. Pol's love for his patients has always been his driving force, and it is something that his community has always shared with them. Beyond fame and wealth, the Pol family is working to leave behind a legacy that speaks for itself. Maintain your attention to find out how this family will respond to the challenges that lie ahead. It will blow your mind, having to deal with loss while also embracing a common goal. There is no one who enjoys contemplating the possibility of losing a loved one, but the Pol family has confronted the possibility with open hearts and minds that are grounded in reality. Throughout the years, Dr. Pol and Diane have been through the experience of losing members of their family, as well as animals that they cherished, which serves as a reminder to them of how fleeting life can be. The choices they have made regarding the future have been influenced by these experiences, which has ensured that their legacy will be built to last. Dr. Pol experiences a range of feelings whenever he considers the possibility of taking a break from his busy practice. In his spare time, he devotes his time to the activities that bring him the most joy, taking care of animals, and interacting with the people in his community. There is now more to the clinic than just a place of employment. It is a representation of the work he has done throughout his life, but much as he values it, he is aware that it will not be around forever. When it comes to making preparations for the day, when he will no longer be able to do what he enjoys, his family has been an invaluable resource. One of the most difficult challenges has been making sure that the clinic will continue to exist. The practice of veterinary medicine in rural areas is already difficult to achieve because fewer people are interested in pursuing this line of work, and even fewer are willing to work in smaller towns. In order to ensure that their clinic continues to serve as a beacon for rural communities, Dr. Pol and Diane have taken measures to train new veterinarians who share their passion for providing care that is both compassionate and practical. Have a watchful eye. The lessons that they are imparting to these young professionals are worthwhile to listen to. They have devoted a significant portion of their planning to ensuring that the quality of their work is maintained. Every single case has been approached by Dr. Pol with the same level of care and determination that he has always shown. The idea that every animal deserves the best possible care, regardless of how insignificant or insignificant the case may appear to be, is something that he has instilled in his family as well as in the people he encourages to become mentors. Dr. Pol is leaving behind more than just a business when he invests in the clinics of young veterinarians and takes the time to mentor them. The ripple effect of his care and kindness is being created by him. Diane has been instrumental in addressing the financial aspects of their legacy, while Dr. Pol is primarily concerned with the clinic for which she is responsible. She has, over the course of many years, made certain that the family's financial situation is in order, thereby laying a solid groundwork for the future. Because of her meticulous planning, they have been able to make investments that will not only be beneficial to their family, but also to the community as a significant whole. However, not every decision has been simple to make. The decision of how to handle the show is one of the most emotionally taxing decisions that the Pol family must come to terms with on a regular basis. The incredible Dr. Pol has made their story accessible to millions of viewers, which has resulted in the formation of a fan base that spans the globe. Additionally, the show has presented its fair share of difficulties, despite the fact that it has been a blessing. When the family considers the future, the question of whether or not the show should continue without Dr. Pol at the center is something that is constantly brought up with them. An individual such as Charles, who has been a driving force behind the success of the show, would, for instance, have conflicting feelings about the show's future development. commitments. In one sense, he would consider it a means of perpetuating the legacy that his father had left behind. On the other hand, he would be concerned about the potential changes that could occur to the show if his father's larger-than-life personality were to be absent. Due to the fact that every member of the family would struggle to determine what the show means to them and how it fits into their vision for the future, these conversations might be considered sensitive. There is a lot of anticipation surrounding the decision that they will make. As they work through these difficulties, the Pol family has discovered solace in the values that they all hold in common. Their commitment to one another, their love for animals, and their faith have been the guiding principles that have guided them throughout their lives. Because of these values, they have been able to make difficult choices and maintain their unity, even when the path that lies ahead is uncertain. One of the most admirable aspects of their narrative is the manner in which they have included every member of their family in the planning process. Every single member of the Pol family, from Charles to Kathy and their grandchildren, has contributed to the formation of the Pol legacy. It's not just about the work that Dr. Pol does here. The collective effort of the family to honor his life's mission is the focus of this discussion. In addition, the Pol family has actively participated in giving back to their community by utilizing their platform to support causes that are near and dear to their hearts. They have demonstrated that their success is about more than just gaining personal gain, whether it be through participation in community events, donations to charitable organizations, or simply being there for their neighbors. When Dr. Pol thinks back on his journey, he frequently notes that his family is the thing that he considers to be his greatest accomplishment over the course of his career. The most satisfying aspect of his life has been witnessing his children and grandchildren embrace his principles. Although the idea of taking a step back is bittersweet, he finds solace in the knowledge that his family will continue his work with the same level of enthusiasm and commitment that he did. This particular chapter in the story of the Pol family is one that is filled with love, preparation, and reflection. Even though they have had to deal with challenging conversations and make difficult decisions, they have remained true to what is most important to them throughout the entire journey. The most emotionally taxing part of their journey is yet to come. Have a watchful eye, an inheritance that will endure. As Dr. Pol contemplates the future, it becomes abundantly clear that his legacy will consist of more than just a prosperous veterinary practice or a well-liked television show. His life has been a demonstration of the value of perseverance, hard work, and compassion for both people and animals alike. When he takes a break from the monotony of his daily routine, he does not abandon the things that he has constructed. Specifically, it means making certain that the principles he has advocated for will continue to flourish through the people he has inspired. It has been a profoundly personal experience for Charles and Diane Pol during this transition. They have witnessed the clinic's transformation from a local practice to a phenomenon that is recognized all over the world. As a family, they have persevered through every difficulty, despite the fact that they are driven by the conviction that their work is important. They now carry not only the weight of running a business, but also the responsibility of continuing Dr. Pol's vision, despite the fact that they are now taking on more leadership responsibilities. With the knowledge that they are paying tribute to his unwavering commitment throughout his entire life, they enthusiastically accept this responsibility. His uncomplicated approach to life and his unwavering dedication to assisting others have served as a source of motivation for people all over the world, including farmers, animal lovers, and fans. The story of his life serves as evidence to many people that compassion and dedication can triumph over any type of challenge. For the purpose of paying tribute to this legacy, the Pol family has begun to broaden their influence. One of the plans is to increase the number of mentorship opportunities available to young veterinarians, particularly those who come from areas that are underserved. With the intention of preserving the significance of local veterinary care, they intend to give something back to the rural communities that have been so supportive of them. Beyond the clinic and the show, Dr. Pol's enduring legacy will continue to be carried on by the countless individuals he has inspired. Many of his followers have shared stories about how his work has inspired them to pursue their own dreams, and others have credited him with instilling in them a love for animals that they were unaware they possessed. This connection is extremely important to the Pol family, as it serves as a constant reminder of the reasons behind their actions. Despite the fact that Dr. Pol is entering a more peaceful phase of his life, he takes solace in the knowledge that his family will continue to keep the clinic's doors open and its mission alive. The journey that they have taken together has been full of moments of pride, moments of laughter, and moments of accomplishment, and they are prepared to take those experiences with them into the future. For those who are fans of Dr. Dr. Pol, his story serves as a potent reminder that acts of kindness and perseverance leave marks that are long-lasting. Although he may eventually lose his prominence, the lessons that he has imparted will continue to serve as a source of motivation for future generations. What are your thoughts on the incredible legacy and fortune that Dr. Pol is providing for his family and friends? What are your thoughts on how his family feels about his journey and the things he has accomplished? In the comments section below, please share your thoughts. For additional content, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Furthermore, please click on the video that is displayed on your screen. You are going to take pleasure in it.